And welcome back to the CSS podcast. I'm your host, Dave. The gentleman right there is my son, Sam. Crawley cannot be with us tonight. It's just a two-man show. And this is show number 107, titled, we're going to help the Reds win now. So how can we do that? You'll have to stay tuned and listen to the topic of the week. I think you'll find it kind of interesting. But before we do, Sam, how was your week?
Oh, not too bad. We took the annual Wolfer Smoker Ryder Cup Challenge, so second year in a row. So that was always good.
3 points to one.
3 points to one. Yep, I
Who's
played pretty
counting?
well personally, so
Yes, you did.
can't complain about that.
Yep, you guys played well. So yeah, but we do that every year. It's year two of it, and next year, they're plotting to get us. So we'll see.
Yep, they're gonna try their best. They might bring in a ringer,
Yeah,
loose family connections, but
yeah, but that's all right. That's all right.
that's all right. That's just one player. They still got three others on the team that gonna have to win
and,
some matches.
we're playing scramble because we're
Yep,
not playing singles, so it's like
yep,
he better be, they better be shooting birdies all the time because if they're pars,
yeah. Yeah. Pars don't
that's
win, so
no, nope. So which he probably could shoot birdies, on a lot of them, but we'll see. We will see. All right, let's go ahead. The week that was it was a good week for the Cincinnati teams. We'll go ahead and start with. You want to start with UC football or FC Cincy, son?
We'll start with FC Cincy. I didn't get a chance to watch any UC football games since we were out golfing.
Right.
Saw some highlights of the FCC game. They won 2-1, beat
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia. Their playoff spot is secured. They're playing New York City, NYCFC. So first game is on the 28th. So what is that? Next Monday.
Yep.
Next Monday at home. So yeah, it's the 1-1-1 format. And if, in typical MLS fashion, NYCFC doesn't have a home stadium. Their default home stadium is Yankee Stadium, which could be hosting World Series games. So
Right.
they don't even know when they go to New York where they're going to be playing yet. But can't really expect anything else from MLS at this point. So, I guess New York Red Bulls, who have their own stadium, is where they play when Yankee Stadium's not available, and they're in the playoffs too. So you can't really you can't make that work. So they might go over to City Field and play at City Field. Would be my guess if I had to put money on it. That's where they're going to end up playing.
Well, the Mets
But
aren't out of it yet either. So.
well, yeah, but I think by the time it rolls around, I'm we don't talk Dodgers here, but I think the Dodgers will get it done tonight. So
No, let's hope not. No, we'll
no,
see
I hope
we'll
not
see.
too. But as you can tell in American sports, if there's a big international star on the scene, they're going to do whatever they can to get them to where they want them to be. So yeah, Otani's going to be playing in the World Series.
Yep, yep, yep. All right. So they just played New York and they lost to them. Wasn't that like
Let me
two
pull up
games
their
ago?
recent. That sounds right. It might have been Red Bulls though. I'm not sure.
No, it wasn't the Red Bulls. I thought it was the Red Bulls, but it was the football club. I
Yeah,
think they
okay, let
lost.
me pull up their. See here if I can find it. Yeah, they did. They lost 3-2 at the beginning of October to New York NYCFC. So it was, yeah, they played that game at Red Bull Arena, which is where the Red Bulls play. So yeah, that was just 2 games ago. But kind of throw that out the window. Playoffs, Pat Noonan will get these guys ready to go. First game's at home, so TQL is going to be rocking and rolling. It's going to be a good atmosphere. So I'm not really too worried about game one, to be honest.
No. All right. Let's go ahead and move into FC Cincy. Um, we have they homecoming week. Our other host Charlie, like I said, is not here. He was down at the stadium, season ticket holder for the Bearcats football team, and um, didn't get a chance to talk to him. Like you said, we were out golfing, didn't get to watch the game. It was a noon game, but it seemed like they had a really good first half, scored 24 points, and then they had to rely on the defense for the second um, game in a row. And Arizona State, the coach after the game made the best
Yeah.
comment. We're having, if you can kick, if you think you can kick, email me because our kicking is atrocious. I'm serious. Email me. We're having tryouts Monday. So, it's
College
kind of funny,
kickers, you
but
can't rely
college
on them.
kickers, you can't. But, I mean, you know, tip your hat to UC. They're 5-2. You know, fighting for respectability in the Big 12, and you never know. Big game this coming week out in Colorado. I know I'm heading out there to visit your sister. This weekend. I don't think I'll go into Boulder at all because we're going to actually see Lydia's game, but it's a 10-15 game time
Yeah,
for
local time. Well,
local
our time.
time.
Yeah,
Yep, yep,
8:30 or 8:15 local time.
yep. Right. So no,
Yeah, they're 2 hours behind.
right, but it's I think it's 10-15.
Eastern.
Is it that
Yeah.
early in the morning?
No, it's night. 10:15 at
Oh,
night.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
no,
a
it's
I thought
late.
I thought it was a day game.
No,
I
it's
thought it
late.
was a That's why I was like going, wow, they're making Colorado get up kind of early to. But
No,
yes, that's
no.
right. Eight
UC's got
eight.
to stay up late.
Yep, UC's got to stay up late. So hopefully, they can get out there and you know come away with a respectable showing. I think that would be really good if they could stop Shador and Travis Hunter on offense there, and if we can run the ball like we've been running, I think it could be a interesting, interesting contest out there.
It's definitely a winnable game. That's for sure. I, it's going to come down to the pass rush. I mean, when Shador gets pressured, he's not very good. When he has time to actually sit back there and pick out his receivers, he's lights out. He's actually a really good quarterback when he has time. But if you get any sort of pressure on him at all, he's going to fold. He doesn't want to get hit. He doesn't want to make a throw into traffic under pressure because he doesn't want to hurt his stats. So I think it's very important for them to pressure and pressure and pressure him as much as possible.
Yep. All right. No Reds news um, this week, so we'll just go ahead and hop right over to the Bengals. We came to you last week when it was Sunday evening before the Bengals took on um, the Giants. So we'll recap that. They did win that game. It was ugly, 17-7. And then this Sunday, Burrow gets his first victory, 2,000, I think it was like 656 days or something like that they've won in Cleveland. It's been a while, about 7 years to be exact. And
I think I was at the game that they won in
that they
Cleveland.
won in Cleveland.
Yeah, it was when the
You and
Browns were
Brad,
like 1-15 and the Bengals were like 4 and something. The
something like
snow
that.
game, it was awful.
Yeah.
We got tickets. I know this. We got tickets for 50 cents each.
No way.
That's the reason why we ended up going. You know.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know it was that cheap.
Yeah.
I probably would have went with you guys.
Yeah.
So thoughts on the two victories?
I mean, they're 2 victories, and I mean, say what you want about the Giants and Browns offense, but defense played well. They didn't get dominated like they did against the Patriots, who have a bad offense. Um, they forced a lot of 3-and-outs, a lot of quick possessions, forced turnovers. Especially today, they forced a bunch of turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say I was impressed, but I was optimistic about the defense that maybe this will give them some confidence going in. They face Philadelphia next week, which is, I mean, Philly's got their own issues, but I think they're at least a competent team, personnel-wise, maybe not coaching-wise, but personnel-wise. So hopefully that'll give them some confidence going into the Philly game. I don't know what was up with the offense these last 2 weeks. They couldn't put a drive together. It seemed like it had to be a big play in order for them to score.
Well, Chuck Sizzle, I mean.
But yeah, the kickoff today, yeah.
Right from the get-go, right? If he doesn't take it to the house,
right?
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Because those first 3 plays that Zach called the second time they had the ball were atrocious. I mean, you got a total of 6 yards. And the last 2 games, Burrow has been very, very anxious in the pocket. I don't know if you noticed.
Well, I mean, the line's been bad, but yeah.
But he's just been like, and like rushing through his reads real quick. And it just seems to me that, I mean, he knows, okay, they're not holding up against these guys. I've got to get rid of the ball here, but then, and give credit to the Browns, right? Their corners and, linebackers were taken away.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they were on the broadcast, they were mentioning how, I mean, the Browns are mostly a man team, and today they were pretty much exclusively in zone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're game planning one way and then they come out those first 4 or 5 series, I can see why you would struggle. And, to Zach's credit, in the second half, the offense did look a little better. They established Chase Brown. He had a couple nice runs. And I think Joe Burrow was able to kind of play off of that a little bit. But not that I'm like a run the football guy, but they need to run the ball a little bit more, especially when the pass blocking is breaking down early, when guys aren't getting open early. Well, just to offset it a little bit, just to have a little bit of balance.
Who was the color commentator today? It wasn't, I mean, Spiro.
It was Archuleta.
Archuleta. He made a couple of really good points, and being an ex-player, they do that. He was saying that they don't have to they don't have to lead the league in rushing attempts or rushing yardage. They just have to be a competent running team, so that the defense has to respect it. Right? If they don't respect the run, then they're just coming. Their 4 linemen are ears pinned coming back, and then the defense knows that they're going to throw. So it's like, we're not respecting the run. And I think Chase Brown gives us a little bit of that. I still wish we would get under center a little more.
Yeah, we don't do that enough.
Just to get some play action, because, if you can run the ball off of play action, it's going to open you up a little bit. I just hate the play action out of the shotgun, because 95% of the time you're pulling the ball and you're throwing it, right? So the defense isn't really, man.
Yeah, I have the window open because it's hot in here.
Like, wow, hey. But, I just think, I don't know, as a play caller, I would want to use my weapons to the best of their abilities.
Well, especially Chase Brown. I mean, he's got game-changing speed. He really does. I would try and get him second, third most touches behind Jamar and T. Should probably be Chase Brown. And, I mean, I like Zach Moss. I think he is good in certain spots. And, I mean, they like him because he's a better pass protector than Chase Brown is. I mean, defense kind of knows if Chase Brown's in the game, he's not hanging around the backfield to pick up a blitz. He's going out, maybe getting him the ball. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. They need to find some sort of balance, because they get too pass happy at times. And then when, Joe should have the ball in his hands to try and convert a third down to ice the game, they run it on 3rd and 8 and get stuffed. So, I mean, it's tough. We say one thing, and then when they actually do it, we criticize them. But I don't know. It's just a bit of common sense I'd like to see from Zach Taylor here. Like, hey, 3rd and 8, Browns are out of timeouts. if we get the first down, ball game's over. Instead, we don't get it. We punt. They go down and score, and they've got a chance to kick the onside.
Right.
So
Yep.
it's just you've got Joe Burrow. Like, let him win you a ball game.
Yeah, but the problem is the last 2 weeks. And this is Bengals fans being Bengals fans because we can never be happy with a win, right? Um, and you can throw me in there as well, you know. But it's like we haven't put a complete game together yet, right? The first three
Yeah.
weeks, the defense was horrible, offense was, I mean, first
I mean,
week offense was
outside of week 1, the offense was
yeah,
pretty good.
right.
Yeah.
Week one is week one because Zach never plays them in the
Right.
preseason.
Exactly.
But then, you look back and you're like, oh, well, crap, if we, nobody else, New England hasn't been close in any other game. But that's beside the point. But, now our defense is playing really well and our offense is struggling. Now, granted, we were playing better defensive teams than we were earlier on, but I don't know. I mean, we still put up a lot of points against Baltimore, and our defense let up. But I, I just wish we could put together a complete game and just see.
Yeah, like I just want to win a game 27-10. We don't have any complaints about anything.
Right.
And it's just nitpicky stuff. But I mean, right now there's every game so far this season. There's been legitimate complaints about one aspect of the ball club. So,
yep.
I mean, they yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, hopefully Orlando Brown. I know he was questioned. Did he come back in the second half?
He did not come back in. No.
So hopefully it's
and
nothing.
Then Geno Stone went out too.
Well, I saw a report saying that he was walking.
I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah, in the locker room and out of the locker room without any braces on or anything like that. So it looks like it's probably day to day.
Yeah.
But we all are. So the Bengals have Philadelphia next week, and the Eagles put up 28 on the Giants, right? The same Giants that we only put 17 up, and we struggled. Barkley, 17 carries, 176 yards against the Giants. So, and I know he had something to prove, right? Going back into New York when he wanted to be a Giant for life, and they didn't want to re-up him, so he went to a rival so that he can kick their butts 2 times a year, and it looks like he's doing that. I just hope, Cam Taylor-Britt was running his mouth today after the game. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not know.
Well, I mean, it was just a quote telling the media that you all forgot about us. We didn't forget about us. We know we're a good defense. And it's like, okay, Cam, the last 2 times you ran your mouth, you
got burnt.
So you
were
up.
The prime reason for the bad defense. So
right. So it's nice that we got all our guys back, per se.
And I mean, I don't know. Yeah, just don't think you should be running your mouth because Deshaun Watson's a JV level quarterback at this point, and whoever that second stringer was,
DTR.
Yeah. I mean, he's not as good.
And what are they thinking having DTR elevated to 2 and Jameis to?
Well, what they're thinking is people have been calling for Jameis to start over Deshaun. So if you bump him
down to 3,
in active third, that doesn't happen. But of course, they do that, and Deshaun gets hurt.
Right.
Winston was technically their emergency quarterback, so he couldn't come in unless DTR got hurt, which he ended up getting hurt. But yeah, so I mean, Jameis Winston's going to be their quarterback going forward. There's no way. And I mean, you saw him; he came in right down the field. They scored a touchdown. I mean, it's kind of amazing how good your offense can look when you have a quarterback that's not afraid to actually throw the football.
Yeah.
So that's one thing nobody's ever said about Jameis. He's not afraid to throw the football.
No, he'll throw it all over the place. He might get 40 touchdowns, but he'll have 35 interceptions.
Yep.
So yeah, there's that that car again.
Yeah, and just going up and down the street, I guess.
Oh well.
But yeah, I mean, when Deshaun went out, I was like, oh no, that's actually worst case scenario for the Bengals, because I didn't realize Jameis wasn't their backup at that point. But
yeah, I saw that at the very beginning, and I was like, oh great, DTR, somebody who we haven't prepared for, he'll run.
Yeah,
yeah, but the game plan, so it is what it is. All right, you got any other thoughts on the Bengals' 2 victories and the Eagles next Sunday? I mean, those of you that don't know by now, they got flexed out of the 4:25 slot, so it's a 1 o'clock game time next Sunday, and the reason is they wanted to put the 2 rookie quarterbacks going against each other. So Caleb Williams from the Bears and Jaden Daniels from the Washington
who
Commanders.
got hurt today, who might not even be playing next week. But that's fine. That means I don't have to listen to Tony Romo call the game, so I'm not actually upset about it. So
yeah. All right. We are going to be moving on to trivia time. So if you want to play along, you can just shoot us a DM on Instagram or Twitter, or X, I should say now, at Cincy Sports Scene. You can submit those answers. And if you're watching live, you can go ahead and just shoot us a chat in the live stream here. All right. Let's see. So it'll be, let's see here, if it was, today is, let me pull up my question here. 34 years ago today, the Reds swept the Oakland A's for their last World Series championship. So my question is, who was the MVP of the World Series?
The 90 World Series?
90 World Series, yep.
I don't know. First gut says Larkin, but yeah, it wasn't Larkin, was it?
Was not Larkin, no.
Second guess goes Eric Davis.
Not Davis.
No. Yeah, I don't know. Position player or pitcher? You wanted to. It's a pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rijo. Yeah.
Jose Rijo was the MVP of the World Series there. So there we go. All right, moving on. Our topic of the week here. Like I said, we are going to try to help improve the Reds. We are going to call up Nick Kroll and Terry Francona and give them our 2 cents worth of how we can improve the Reds for next year. But there is a little caveat. The first is you're allowed 1 free agent signing, 1 trade, and it has to be a realistic trade. You know, it can't be something like Stuart Fairchild for Aaron Judge or something like that, because the Yankees aren't going to do that. So it has to be realistic. And the last one is a minor leaguer that has to be on the 26-man roster. So those are the 3 categories on how we are going to improve the Reds. And I would love to hear Crawley's answer, but since he's not here, we'll
have to get it from him next week.
Yep. So go ahead. Sam, where do you want to start? You want to start with the free agents, or do you want something else? You got a trade brewing or what?
So I do have a trade brewing.
Okay.
It's for a center fielder going after Luis Robert from the White Sox.
Oh, okay.
I think he's got to be available. He fits kind of a need for an outfield power bat. He plays solid defense. He does have a bit of an injury bug, so I wouldn't be surprised if they move him out of center, maybe left field, keep Friedel in center, move him to either left or right. I wouldn't be opposed to that. But yeah, that's the trade, and I mean, I honestly I'd be willing to give up just about anybody to go get him.
Well, you got to come up with a package.
I'd come up with a package.
And you
I don't
know it's
really
the
know
White
what the
Sox.
Whites.
So.
It's going to depend on the White Sox. You're probably going to have like 2 top end prospects and maybe two fillers. So we'll go. I think probably have to throw in Arroyo, Edwin Arroyo. He's going to have to be in there. Probably a pitcher. So I don't know. Say Chase Petty, and then you probably would throw in somebody like a Reese Hines or an Austin Hendricks or somebody like that to kind of complete out the package.
All right. Since you went trade route, I'll go trade route as well. There's a couple out there that I was hoping for, but I really don't know, because I was trying to find a outfield bat, but I think we can sign one free agent. So
Yeah.
maybe then you have to go and trade for, I would say, probably Rooker from
Oakland.
even though he's not getting traded. Oakland said that he's not trading him. But if you do that, it's probably a package of one of Chase Petty or Connor Phillips, or might even be both of those guys. And then you probably would throw in somebody like I don't know if Cam Collier or Sal Stewart.
Yeah.
So one of those, and then probably somebody like a Stu Fairchild, or a Will Benson, Jake Fraley, somebody who can go play outfield right now while their other young guys are developing, because they're going to wait until they get to Las Vegas before they make a run. Hopefully they is what they're banking on. So if you can get Rooker for those 4 guys, that would be great. It probably going to take 5. I mean, just because, but man, he would mash. And
yeah, he would. I mean, he did for that series that he was here.
Yeah. So yeah. All right, where are we going next?
What was the other one? Free agent.
Free agent or a minor leaguer?
Yeah. I mean, free agent wise, I was going more like bullpen or backup catcher, so it's nothing, nothing flashy.
Yeah.
But we desperately need an upgrade at backup catcher. I'm looking here at, the free agent options. I mean, James McCann wouldn't be too bad. I think he's a .5 WAR player this year, better than Luke Maile, who was negative .2. Jacob Stallings would be another one. I mean, former Pirate, kind of knows the NL Central a little bit. Veteran guy, good defensive catcher. Somebody like that is, I think. I mean, I know that's not, splashy. I kind of went that route on the trade. But I mean, if you wanted to go splashy, I saw someone float this rumor out there about making a run at Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
But that would require you'd have to be able to offload Candelario somehow. And I'm not sure that they're going to be able to do that.
Well, not only Candelario, but where's CES, right? I mean, that could be part of your trade package. If you get CES is probably getting traded.
Or CES can be your DH, or Goldschmidt or not Goldschmidt, but Alonso.
Yeah.
Sorry, Goldschmidt's name is right below Alonso.
Right below,
so,
yeah. You must be looking at the same thing that I am.
Yeah, but But yeah, I mean, that would be a move. I'd definitely be on board with that. I mean, he would
He
mash
would
into the
mash. He
MVP.
would mash, and yes, he would.
But I don't think they're going to open up and give a free agent $200+ million
No,
when you got some
no.
young guys you'd probably rather try and get. So
Right. Yeah. So that's I mean, obviously the big fish out there is Juan Soto, right?
yeah,
There was something that was interesting. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if it was Reds Daily or Reds in Four or one of the Reds Twitter guys, who's on Twitter or X, sorry, a
mm-hmm. lot.
lot. He said, "What would you rather do if you were the Reds? Would you
I did see that one. Yeah,
sign
yeah.
Juan Soto for 10 years at 200 million or whatever it was.
It's going to be more than that, but yeah.
Well, yeah, 10-year
yeah.
contract, say 10 years, $300 million, whatever. Or sign Ellie for 10 years for 300 million now. Who would you rather?
I'd say so. If Soto's going to come here for the same amount of money that Ellie would sign for right now, give me Soto. And then you've got
Ellie
five
for
more
5
years
years,
with Ellie.
5 years with Ellie, yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah. That's a no-brainer to me.
That would be a no-brainer, yeah. So, my free agent dream is Soto, right? Because the Reds would probably have somewhere, and I know the budget isn't set yet, but 60 million, because they were at like 60 some $million for players that are coming back with arbitration and everything.
Yeah.
That's what they're projecting to have. Even if you spend another 60 million in free agency, that only puts you at 120 million, 125 million, which was below average.
Right. That's still bottom third in terms of payroll.
And it's like, and it was, I can't remember which year it was. It might have been when Castellanos and Moustakas was here. That's when I think that was the last time they were north of 120 for the payroll. So they are willing to spend, right? And I think it's they had 100 million they spent this past year on free agents, and
just the wrong guys.
Just the wrong guy. Well, I would say just
Candelario, I'd say was the wrong guy.
Wrong guy, yeah. And
Pagan just didn't work out for injuries. Martinez was fine. I thought they overpaid for him. We don't have to rehash that, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to just calling up Boris. I'm assuming Boris is Soto's agent, and just say 3 years, 120 million, so 40 million a year. But just a short term, just massive amount of money contract, and see if they don't hang up right away.
Right. So here's for me, the outfield bat I solved with the trade. So now I'm going to need like a starting pitcher, I think. And and this is right up the Reds' alley because they love reclamation projects and guys coming off injury projects. Frankie Montas, but Shane Bieber is a free agent. His salary, he's 29 years old. His salary was 13.1 million. He's coming off of, he went Tommy John surgery in April. So, that is probably going to be, I mean, it'll June at the early, July at the earliest, I think, because they're coming back.
They're coming back in like 9 months ish now.
Yeah. So you got 9 months, and you got to get that throwing program, and it might be a flyer, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, a lot of one name, and this is just Reds fans, so the Walker Buehler, local guy. So of course you're going to see that name.
Is he a free agent or is he?
He's going to be a free agent. Yeah.
Okay. Another one is where was he? Chase Burns. Ex Milwaukee guy.
No, Corbin Burns.
Or
Chase
Corbin
Burns
Burns,
was our draft pick. Yeah.
That's right, Chase Burns. Yeah. Corbin Burns. Sorry. And who knows? I mean,
yeah, that's. I don't know. You're gonna have to throw a lot of money at him.
Yeah, I'm trying to find what he made last year here.
I mean, probably in 12 to 15 last year of arbitration for a top level starter. It's probably where he was at.
Where's he at? Yeah, Corbin Burns, 29, turns 30 this October. He made 15.6.
Yeah, I mean he'd probably be getting north of 25 a year.
He's 32 starts, 194 in a third, 292 earned run average, 181 strikeouts, 48 walks. Put him.
And I mean, I'm not opposed to one of these kind of, quote unquote old guys. See what they've got left in the tank. With Verlander or Scherzer. Somebody like that.
Because he's a bulldog, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
He could take some of these younger guys under his, sort of like what Montas did with Hunter Green, right? I mean, he took him under his wing and really taught him here's the pitch sequences and stuff like that. So, I would not be, but Scherzer, I mean, it's 30 mil, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean it's a 1 year. You're not signing them long term. So if you've got 60 to 80 million you're willing to spend, if you throw 30 of it at Scherzer or Verlander, I'm not opposed to it.
No. Verlander's going to be almost 42 though, so Scherzer,
it's probably not going to be Verlander. He's probably going to end up retiring.
Right.
But I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe he wants to try and get 300 wins.
Blake Snell is a free agent, but he wants long term.
Oh, he's gonna. Yeah.
So the other thing is Frankie Montas might come back, right? I mean, he said he would not be opposed to coming back.
Yeah, I'd be opposed, but.
Yeah. So all right. So the last one that we have to improve these Reds are it would be to our minor leaguers. So somebody that's not currently on the 40 man.
Not currently on the 40 man?
Or no, the 26 man.
Just not, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, let me look up the official roster here and see.
Yeah.
I don't want to, because I think Rhys Hines is technically finished the season on the 26 man, I think. So let me just see here if I can.
Yeah.
Stupid website. Trying to sell me season tickets. Just want to see the roster, guys. Active roster.
40 man. Oh, it's active roster.
Yeah, they might not have it like active or updated. I can't really tell.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, if I had to put money, it'd be an outfielder, and I'd be leaning probably Blake Dunn to be your 4th/5th outfielder, because Stu's out of options. I can't see him really sticking around. So yeah, that would be mine. Would be Blake Dunn. If you have some injuries, especially the infielders, Arroyo's probably first guy called up.
Arroyo.
So,
I mean,
I could very easily see him
fill in the Espinal role because I don't think Espinal's coming back. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, I could very easily see him doing that. But I think Blake Dunn's more of a sure thing, I guess. I would say before spring training.
And I don't think. I mean, I think it'd be prudent that the Reds have Arroyo starting AAA just to get at bats and consistent at bats every day.
Yeah,
Because I think in 2026 he's up here for good. I mean, I do.
yeah. Well, I mean, if my outfield back comes true, then Arroyo's traded, so I guess I can't really pick him.
Right, that is
So yeah,
true.
so yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, Sal Stewart's another one, but then you have, you know, you've got to find a place for him, right? Unless
right.
you're
That's the big thing with our infielders right now is you don't call these guys up to have them play once a week.
right, you can't.
Yeah, that hurts their development. That's
Right.
not. You either use them as trade pieces or let them develop in Double and Triple A.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's injury. Injury changes everything, or if they decide to give up on Marte, that opens up third base. That
Right.
opens up a spot. So.
Well, yeah. So yes, I would probably say either, yeah. I mean, I would love to see Cam Collier come up, but he's not ready yet. But it'll probably be one of two players: Arroyo fill in the Espinal role because I don't think the Reds are going to bring him back for the $4 million, and um, or Chase Burns or Connor Phillips. And I know Phillips was horrible this past year, but he showed, in Arizona Fall League, he showed so much improvement, and everybody, not just in the Reds organization, but everybody says the guy has stuff. If he can
Yeah.
just control it, he would be freaking phenomenal. And he's shown flashes. So we do need. I mean, we've lost two guys to injury here just recently in the bullpen. So, or not the bullpen, but
In the
the starting
rotation. Yeah.
rotation.
Yeah.
And who knows how long Lodolo can last when he's healthy. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that's a crapshoot. You
right.
just don't know.
You've got Hunter Green and Abbott, really.
Yeah.
And Green gets injured a little bit here and there. So, um, so I would say pitcher, either Chase Burns or
Yeah. I
Connor
mean, you got
Phillips.
Louder too. Louder will have a spot
Well, but he
next
but he
year.
finished but he finished with the Reds, so he was
Well,
up to
no, I meant
26.
like
Yeah.
he's taking
Yes.
up a
And yeah.
spot.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
right. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So there you have it for that. So hopefully, in a perfect world, there would be any rookies that have to play every day for us. But that's in a perfect world, and the place
I
would
mean,
be
as of
filled.
right now, there wouldn't be. I don't think.
No, unless it's a pitcher, right?
Right. Yeah.
And which, if that's the case, then the pitcher's probably hopefully ready. If he breaks camp
Yeah.
as a number 4, number 5 starter, then he's ready,
Yeah.
and that means probably Ashcraft is our closer,
Uh,
right?
yeah. I mean,
I
I'd
mean,
really like to see him in the bullpen.
mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be his best role. I really hope that they try him in the bullpen.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. All right. Anything for the good of the show before we get out of here?
Nope.
Well, next week we're going to be off because I will be, like I said, in Colorado, and it's just too hard to take everything out there to do the show from. So we're going to be off next week, but we'll be back the following week. It'll be in November. So, mercy. Time's flying. And
Yep.
basketball, we'll be talking probably basketball. UC Hoops. Shout out to them for, even though it was an exhibition game, defeating Ohio State. And Xavier Hoops probably in November. So stay tuned for that. Um, for Crawley, who could not be here, for Sam and me, Dave here. Everybody have a wonderful night and a great start of your week. Take care.
That's it.